Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. It's like the wheels was turning. Like, which one am I talking about? Allie and Chanel are trash. Um, Allie, you're such a bad. I'm like, Allie, you are such a bad liar. Um, at first she looks at the phone. This is after she wakes up and realizes just exactly what she did, and just how she pretty much kind of screwed over the only guy that she's ever really been with that treated her with an ounce of respect. She just screwed that all up because that's just the type of woman that she is. So, she gets a call from Trip. Now, Trip was not there calling her because Sweetness wasn't open. Melinda was there, and Melinda was not happy that she did not get her caffeine fix and her, I guess, Sweet Bits. So she's already just ready to write like a really bad review, and Trip was like, "No, listen, Chanel's really going through something. They're just give him a chance." That's Trip. That is Trip. Good guy to just sit there defending Chanel and Allie's business because that's who he is, and what he doesn't realize is that they are both screwing him over by screwing each other. I can't make this up, and I'm not trying to be crass about it, but that is literally the truth. Um, so what happens? She he calls he calls Allie. And Allie looks at the phone like, Trip, what should I do? So Chanel's like, answer the phone, and she's all making up excuses. She's all like, oh yeah, well, Chanel wasn't doing good, so the business is not open today. He's like, where are you? I'm at home. Even Chanel's like, what are you doing? And Chip was like, "Oh, cool. I'll stop by. Oh, I was about to sit there and head out to go see Snow. All right. Yeah, I love you. Love you. All right. Yeah, I gotta go. Like, Allie, that was so bad. that was that was so bad that it was laughable. Um. So after that, she's like, I gotta tell the truth. Chanel's like, no. Like, good. Let's listen to let her give you advice. You know what? Both of y'all are a bunch of idiots. Sure, why not? So she's like, yo, listen, don't do that. Don't hurt him like that. You're not, she's like, don't hurt him like that. You be protecting him. And, Allie brings up the fact that, like, her mom did that and it was a lot worse of her. And, he's a really great guy and maybe he'll forgive me. And Chanel's like, maybe he'll kick you to the curb and just say deuces. Yes. That's exactly what he should do. He should kick you to the curb and say deuces. And as I was sitting there thinking about that, I was like, well, eventually it's going to come out. And I'm going to have my cheese doodles or some other snack ready to sit there and watch it. But the question is, what does he do after that? There's not really a lot of available women that are, like, available. I mean, Claire is in South Africa. So it's not like he can be like, all right, well, kick rocks. I'll be with. I think it's time for Claire to come back home. It sucks. I mean, granted, she should be more than just, well, his backup plan or his new love interest, but like, there's not real. I mean, what's he gonna do? I was gonna even sit there and say something stupid, like, oh, maybe he should be with Chanel. Oh, wait, that's the. So she's freaking out, and she listened to Chanel. Like, because Snell's like, listen, don't do it. It was a one time thing. It happened. You were there for me. And, we're not going to go back. And I don't want to lose you as a friend. And she's all like, oh, you won't leave me as a friend? Da 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 da. Isn't this how your ass got in this? Never mind. Never mind. Just, Never mind. Wow, you two. I mean, granted, I just gonna say they're both trash, but granted, with Chanel, I mean, the devil literally took over her husband's body. So yeah, when she finds out, she's gonna feel bad, and it's gonna be like, oh man, and she's gonna want to probably maybe could possibly lose Johnny. But I mean, in her instance, I feel more for her than I do for Allie. You know, because at least you could sit there and say, well, the devil did it. Like it was a supernatural, supernatural thing that happened, and this is why she decided to turn towards somebody else. Allie did it because Allie is just an ungrateful. You know what? Nope, not doing it. So after Rafe and Ava bump into Nicole. Nicole's like, "Oh, I was just about to get some lunch." Um, well, she starts to walk, into Roman's place, and she's talking about how she's late and everything like that. And Ava's like, "Well, why don't you sit there and join us?" She's like, "No, I can't really do it. I'm late. I'm just gonna go to Sweet Bits." So she leaves the place that she was about to go, and then she goes, she's like, she's about to go to Sweet Bits, and I'm just like, we're not even trying anymore, are we? We're just not even. You was literally saying walk into Roman's place, and you said, "Oh well, I'm late. I'm just gonna go to Sweet Bits." Even Ava's just like, yeah, that doesn't even make a lot of sense. And so she's prattling, um, Rafe and being like, oh, listen, y'all two are friends, and I'm not jealous anymore, and I know you would never hurt me. This, that, and the third, blah 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 blah. Just making Rafe feel uncomfortable, which I'm actually enjoying. I am. I am 100% enjoying that. Now at some point, Rafe goes to work, and Melinda walks up to Rafe. Like Melinda is just, I just, I don't know if I want to have her as a boss. I mean, damn, when she comes at you like, damn, this is going to be a really bad day. Like, how you're just having a decent day and somebody just comes and just really messes it up. She seems like that type of person. Imagine if I was actually working for me. Yeah, I'd be hella distracting because she is Melinda. But her mean side is like, Jesus Christ. I just know about you. When she comes over and she's like, yeah, somebody filed a complaint that you are planting evidence. And Rafe is like, oh, what are you talking about? You know how these guys are. I mean, they always sit there and say something like that. And then Melinda's like, yeah, well, the problem is, it's more than just one person that's saying that you planted false evidence. I got stacks right here. This ain't good, bro. This ain't good. And I already let Internal Affairs know. So yes, Hank, I hope I hope this all pans out. I mean, she is pissed and he is bothered by it. And towards the end, Rafe is not there talking to Nicole. You realize that Nicole is the one that is planting the false evidence on Rafe. And I'm like, good, nice job. I like your revenge thing so far. I mean, hell, she could have sat there. She could have, had them both killed. She could have tortured them both. I mean, she is a fatality. She can do those sort of things. But she's smart. She's like, you know what? I'm gonna sit there and get you where it hurts. So she came at this job. I wonder what she actually has in store for Nicole. Hmm. Can't wait for that. I really can't wait for that. I sat there and at first I was like, Rafe, what is going on? I mean, what is this about? Well, once I found that Ava was responsible, I was like, good, good. I have no sympathy for him whatsoever. He's been acting like a scumbag this entire time. You know, with Ava. So he's getting exactly what he deserves. I'm glad she's going this route. I'm glad she's not just being like, yo, put two in his head and call it a day. No, because I want this man to suck. I'm a dick. Now Johnny is sitting there really surprising EJ with a about to say EJ with a lot of these different like revelations or whatever. He wants to sit there, be part of the company, and he's embracing his true Demaro heritage and everything like that. And he starts talking to EJ about the trial and stuff. Like, listen, if it goes sideways, I want to sit there and have your back, but I need your shares. I need you to sign over your shares to me in order for me to sit there and protect your best interests. And at first, EJ's like, I'm sorry, what? And then he's like, yeah, see, your mother said the same thing, and then she tried to screw me over. So I'm not exactly too willing to, just sign my stuff away. But Johnny makes a compelling case, and given that, the way I look at this whole scene is that if EJ was not facing these charges, EJ is a smart person. And the way that Johnny was acting in this episode, it just didn't seem like Johnny. But because EJ is so distracted about mounting up his own defense since he can't get Bella to do it, he's not exactly really thinking straight. So he does eventually want to sign, agreeing to sign over the shares, um, and just being really proud of Johnny and everything like that, and not really seeing the odd behavior that Johnny's in there displaying. So he leaves, and the devil is pretty much like, "Yep, that was just too easy." Um, and granted, in the beginning, he was sitting there monologuing like a damn DC villain to Stefano, and then he continues the monologue right up until the point where Chanel walks in, and Chanel's like, "Well, here's your ring back, here's your key back, go to hell," and she walks off. So I mean, a lot of this stuff, like I said, like I was sitting there watching, the scenes between those two. I was like, AJ, you really have not figured out that, like, his behavior is so odd that you just stop questioning it. I mean, you're questioning a little bit, but you're too distracted to really know what's going on. So, crazy, crazy, crazy. Now, at some point, Bella comes to see, Nicole, and Nicole's like, yeah, I think you should sit there and rep EJ. At first it's like to get under Sammy's skin, but then she's like, yo, I don't think he did it. He's not stupid enough to one, let her get away, and two, leave evidence that anyone could sit there and find. So she convinces Bella to defend EJ. And so when EJ walks into the courtroom, Melinda's standing there all smiling and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, we're gonna go head to head. You're gonna be dealing with me now. I'm gonna take you down, this, that, and the third. And then Bella walks in and is like, nah, you're gonna be dealing with me today. So once again, AJ has that smile on his face, and I'm still surprised. I mean, here's the thing: I knew that Bella was gonna sit there and represent EJ because I saw it in the previews. But with given everything, given well, one that he's EJ, and two, moreover, your sister, the company that you the company that you work for and represent, that you said was a conflict of interest to represent EJ. I mean, yeah, you knew that. I mean, here's the thing: even when she was sitting there talking to EJ, she knew there was a good possibility that he didn't do it. Not so much because she likes EJ, but because EJ's not an idiot. He would never just sit there and leave a paper trail. So she knew. She knew that there was something off about that whole thing. But she had those two roadblocks. And hell, even if she said, screw you, Sammy, there's still the whole, yeah, well, I kind of work for this big company, and it would be a conflict of interest, and, they sign my check. So, yeah, I just don't know about that. But she decides to do it anyway, I guess, because I guess you could sit there and look at it. and realize that she's not going to let an innocent man go to jail, even if it is the somewhat devil incarnate. Now, Trip was sitting there talking to Ava, and Ava was sitting there warning Trip, like, "Yo, listen, you know that Chanel and Allie have a history. Don't let your guard down." The problem is, she starts projecting so much that Trip is like, "Are we talking about me? Or are we talking about you?" And of course, Ava not wanting to, spill what she's doing or anything like that. She's like, "No, you're my son. I want to make sure that you're fine and everything like that." And Trip's like, "No, we good. We good. We're in a really good place." And later on, when he goes to the hospital, Allie walks up to him, and when Allie looks like she's about to sit there and tell him what happened, she decides to lie because that's always the best solution is to sit there and lie because it worked out so well for Sammy, right, Allie? I'm sorry you decided to listen to the other dingbat. I mean Chanel, because you two, you two really do belong. You really do deserve each other. Really do. Yeah, yeah, really do. Um. So yeah, she lies straight to his face and she hugs him, and she talks about how I don't want you to sit there and think that I take you for granted, which she clearly does. But whatever, it's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna be honest. Oh, and the last scene is Chad talking to Kate. And Chad is like, yeah, I don't. Because Chad was meant to talking to Bella and realizing that he can face 8 to 10 years in prison. And at first, Bella was like, yep, well, if he did it, I hope he gets more. When she starts talking to Kate, you have an attack of conscience on him. He's like, yeah, I was angry and I was mad because EJ was doing this, that, and the third, but I don't want him to go to jail for 8 to 10 years. I'm going to sit there and say that Lucas did it. But in case, like, no, you can't do it because, Philip might be dead and he's my only son and you know what EJ would do. And if that happens, it's going to be on you, which is, you know, all true. I mean, listen, if EJ finds out that Lucas did it, that is going to be his ass. Um, and Chad doesn't want to sit there and do that to Kate. He doesn't want to do that to Kate, but he doesn't want EJ to go to jail. Not just because he embraced him, um, when he learned that I guess he was a Demaro and everything like that, but because he didn't want to turn out like EJ. He felt like that was something that EJ was going to sit there and do. Like, he didn't want to be like EJ. That's the type of actions that EJ would do. He wants to be better than that. So, his only option at this point is to sit there and say, you know what? I'm just going to throw myself under the bus. I may lose everything, but it's the right thing to do. So, he decides to leave the office and I guess go to the courtroom. I doubt that he's actually going to sit there and do it. He's actually going to go through with it, you know? The problem, here's the thing, the problem with this whole situation is that Lucas could wind up going to jail. Kate, knowing, could wind up going to jail. Kate could also wind up going to jail for the whole, Philip thing. Chad could wind up going to jail. Even if the truth comes out and Lucas is the one that, they find out that it was Lucas all along, Chad could still go to jail. Like, this man could still go to jail regardless. So, I mean, it really just depends on how you want to go about it. And hell, it's not like Melinda would she'll be happy taking at this point any Demara name. She can't get Kristen, so she'll go after EJ. She can't go after EJ, and I guess she'll sit there and get Chad. I mean, hell, his last name is Demara, so why not? I gotta sit there and say, I actually really enjoyed this episode. And it's weird to say, but I never thought when I first started watching this show that I would enjoy it as much as I am, as much as I am now. You know, watching a new soap opera, trying to figure out all the different players, trying to figure out the names, which, you know, I'm just going to keep saying this. They should really start to put names where these characters are, like in the intro, because a lot of times when you're watching something, there's times where they don't sit there and say these people's names. I was watching Bold and the Beautiful last night, and somebody actually had to sit there and tell me what this woman's name was. Because she came to town, and all I knew, hi, Paris Mom, who clearly they didn't bother to sit there and give a name to yet. I guess I was supposed to just somehow know that, right? But with all that being out the way, and as much as I love GH, I've been watching it since high school. I gotta sit there and say that this show not only grew on me, but even when I wasn't watching it, even when I took a break from watching it, I was still kind of missing it. I was still kind of wondering what's going on. What's like what are these characters up to? I feel like I'm missing it so much, but I knew that I had to sit there and take a break because other reasons I had to take a break, but I still missed it. So I'm glad. Well, no, I'm grateful for the people that actually subscribed to me, my channel, and even told me about this show when GH was taking a break because of the whole pandemic thing. So, with that being said, I'm going to go. I want to thank everyone for watching. Be safe, and I will see you in the next video.